Hi, I'm Leon Lovelace, and this is Unstoppable Force. Now, I need you to go to my GoFundMe campaign. I'm going to put a link in the description below because I need to grow this channel. I need you to help fund my campaign so I can start doing this full-time instead of part-time, and I can just bring you more great news. Alright, but I needed to make a couple follow-ups after the interview I had with Miss Miller at the Clean Water Rally. And one thing she talked about was that more companies are coming to North Carolina that manufacture chemicals. So I looked that up and I found that on edpnc.com website that is in fact true. I'll have another website to talk about a little bit more about it, but on this site it talks about how North Carolina's 75,000 plus jobs in plastic and chemical manufacturing make up the fifth largest industry workforce in the U.S. With the industry growth rate 1.5 times the national average since 2010, the state represents a prime location for new investment. So this website is talking about more companies are going to move to North Carolina to produce more chemicals, and manufacturing.net also confirms this. Because it says chemicals and plastics companies have been flocking to North Carolina for years. Looks like that trend is going to be increasing. This is from a little while ago, but it says starting January 1st, 2017, the corporate tax rate in North Carolina will drop from 4 to 3%, keeping the state just one of 6 in the country to have a corporate tax rate below 5%. So of course that's just an atrocious tax rate because they're going to move that tax burden from the wealthy corporations to the working and the poor people in North Carolina. Okay, because one CEO talked about how it's one of the many variables that makes the state an attractive destination for chemical manufacturers. And then a lot of people don't realize that North Carolina is one of the busiest manufacturing states in the country. I didn't know that either because I never really researched it. And it never really popped up in anything about North Carolina that I've read. So that's interesting. But with the low taxes, he says the advantages that North Carolina has is the strategic location, the accessibility of several top-rated universities in the state, which allows companies to tap into up-and-coming talent. Right-to-work laws have also kept unionization rates and labor costs lower than in other states. So those last two things have benefited the corporations to the detriment of the citizens. So if we start building up some unions, and get rid of them right-to-work laws, maybe those chemical companies will leave. Because then they'll be able to make profit somewhere else instead of North Carolina, or more profits. So this is a really important story because with the devastation that's been going on with the Gen X contamination in Wilmington that Chemours has been doing for decades, that it's just really probably gonna start increasing because, as we know, the Environmental Protection Agency, the North Carolina version of that, hasn't been doing enough to protect the people. The county that Wilmington is in, I think it's New Hanover County, but I'm not quite sure. Or it's the Cape Fear County. One of those two counties. They haven't done enough to regulate Chemours or maybe any other chemical companies. There was water contamination I read about maybe a year or two ago. That was near the Raleigh or the Durham area. But I didn't have my news show back then, so I wasn't really digging into that. But of course we had that issue going on. And then another thing other things we have to worry about is other cities or other counties in North Carolina where the water's contaminated, but we don't know about it, so we can't start rallying and start protesting and start pushing our politicians to fix this issue and make sure we actually regulate these companies so they're not doing this anymore. Because at the end of the day, The people are getting crushed by the corporations, and that shit has to stop.